Hey everyone, Maureen Casey here. If you're on my page, you know that, right? Alright, I want to apologize first of all for my voice. I thought by now it would be better. Literally, I lost it a week ago. So, it's all good though. Alright guys, today we're going to be talking about self-love. Kind of an odd subject if you ask me. And I think it's odd because I struggled with it for a lot of years. Matter of fact, I still struggle with it every single day. It has been one of the hardest things for me to get over. And let me just explain something really quick. Self-love and confidence are two different things. Do they go hand in hand most of the time? Yes. But are they different? Absolutely. So, for example, I am confident in who I am. Most days. I might not be confident in the outfit I'm wearing, but I know who I am. I am extremely confident in my marriage, in my faith, in my business, that sort of thing. But when it comes to self-love, I don't always have the best practices, and I don't think most people do. But it's so important. And when I talk to people about self-love, they always, this is like 90% of the time, they tell me that they feel selfish when they're taking care of themselves. And I just don't get that. However, I used to feel the same way. I wanted to always put everybody else before me and that kind of stuff. And let me tell you, you can't do that. I know that you've heard in the past that you can't fill up somebody else's cup from an empty pitcher, right? You being the empty pitcher. And it's so true. But self-love goes a lot deeper than just the pampering. You know, oh, I'm going to take a bubble bath. Oh, I'm going to get my hair done. Oh, I'm going to eat a piece of chocolate. Like, yes, those things can be self-love, but it's a lot deeper than that. When you talk about self-love, we're literally talking about being able to love yourself. Being able to look in the mirror and thinking, man, I'm a freaking rock star. Like, I'm awesome. Or for, my husband and I, everything we say and we do, right? Like, two of our biggest sayings is, you're a badass and you're going to have a kick-ass day. Like, why those two, I don't know. But we've always talked about, like, man, go kick ass today, or, whatever it is. So, for us, that has a lot to do with self-love. When I can look in the mirror and truly be like, man, like, I am a badass. I totally rocked that outfit. I totally rocked the socks off of today, or whatever it may be. Like, that is when you've come to a state that you know who you are and you are okay with it and you love yourself. Now, like I said, it took me a long time to get there. I haven't always loved myself. Matter of fact, I've always been really mean to myself, starving myself, eating random, diets, or only eating this, only eating that, only eating at certain times of day. I've always loved to exercise, but literally at one point in my life, it was an addiction. Like, I had to exercise multiple hours a day. And I'm not talking about, like, let's go for a walk. Nothing wrong with that. That's my form of exercise nowadays. But I'm talking about, like, going to the gym and absolutely demolishing whatever body area, so leg day, arm day, chest, back, whatever, like totally demolishing that area to the point where, literally I could be in bruises because I worked out so hard, and that still wasn't okay with me. I still wasn't good enough for myself, and I walked around every day, and it was so funny because at this time in my life, when I go back and talk to people from this time in my life, which I literally did this the other day, and it was, like, so surreal. And this guy I was talking to was like, Mo, it's so funny. So if he's watching this, he knows exactly who he is, because he's literally the only person in my life that calls me Mo. That's not true. He's one of two people. So anyways, he's like, Mo, like, do you remember this? Do you remember that? Like, and he's going through all these stories, and I was like, man, like, that was the most depressing time of my life. And his whole, like, demeanor changed, and he kind of just looked at me, and he was like, what do you mean? Like, you were so confident. You always spoke with such elegance. Like, you were so powerful. Like, when you walked into a room, like, we all knew you were there to dominate. Like, you were going to do, X, Y, and Z, right? Like, I was always the girl in charge, the girl with the plan. I had all this stuff going on. And when I started really thinking about it, that was my way of being okay. You know, I had to be in control of everything in order to just survive. And the moment I felt out of control, like I didn't know what I would do. And I went through this like crazy depression and everything else, but I combated it and I hit it really, really well with having a career and looking successful from the outside, right? And so after that, when I met my wonderful husband, I started going through this self-love journey because my husband could see right through me. Like, I didn't know then he was going to be my husband, but shoot, I wish I had known that because it would have made everything make so much more sense. I did not understand how this guy could see through me. Nobody else could see through me, right? Like, everybody I talked to, they swore I had my life together. They swore that I was so successful. And I was successful in my own right. I was making good money. I was running the office. I had all my ducks in a row. I mean, I was, especially for my age, I mean, think about it. I was 20, 21 years old, 22 years old. I was successful in my own right. And to know that this guy walked into my life and knew that I didn't love myself at all. Matter of fact, I hated who I was. I was miserable in my job. Not that I didn't have a great career, not that I didn't love what I did, because I was helping people and I was changing lives and I loved that. But it was the wrong avenue for me. And I used it as an outlet instead of using it as something I truly loved. It turned out to be a jail for me because without it, I didn't know who I was, you know? So, you know, being able to change those things and to learn how to eat, as stupid as that sounds when I say it, it's like, you learned how to eat? Yes. In my mid-20s, I learned how to eat without killing myself. Like, pretty exciting stuff. You know, I learned what it was like to go get a massage and to go get manicures and pedicures and not feel guilty about them, and to be able to walk around with my head held high because I knew who I was and I loved myself, not because I wanted to walk in and dominate a room. Because that used to be what it was. It was more of envy or revenge. I was going to show up and I was going to prove everybody wrong, right? And now I show up because I'm in love, because I love what I do. So here's the meat and potatoes, right? Like, here's what I'm getting at. You have to find that place of self-love. Can I put my hair up, you guys? Like, let's just work this out right now. So for everybody who doesn't know, normally my hair is like this length. This is where I keep my hair at max. Like, I've had it like off like this, right? Like, this was my hair. And that's a lot of length. And my hair grows extremely fast on these new supplements I'm on. I've been on them for about 6 months, and it's ridiculous. Even my hair lady is like, I only see you once every 6 months, and you need to come in every like month, 3 months max. And so I'm not used to this whole long hair thing, and it's in my face all the time, and it drives me crazy. Who can deal with that? Like, that's awful. So, water. I love water. Do you guys love water? Love water. So anyways, self-love is so much deeper. So I want to help you guys out when it comes to my manifesting and how I came to a point and how I'm still working through some of those issues, because yes, there is a time when you will arrive, and I believe that. But everything in your past is always going to be a part of you. It's just how you deal with it, how you handle it, and how you allow it to control you that really matters. And so for me, this is one of those things that it is a daily struggle. I wake up in the morning, and let me tell you, I don't always wake up thinking, man, you're fabulous. Sometimes I wake up like, this morning was a rant morning, probably because I got on Facebook right away. Don't do that, people. I highly, highly discourage that. Facebook is toxic. Okay? So at least my Facebook is. These people, jeez. Anyway, seriously though, today was like, I need to look and see if it's a full moon or something, because every single person on my Facebook this morning was complaining about something, and I was like, whoa, I need to get off of here. So anyways, I don't always wake up feeling fabulous, but there are quite a few things that you can do that I highly recommend, and I have started incorporating into my life, and they're making things better. They're making things easier. They're getting me to a state where I can love myself more often throughout the day. And I just want to share those with you, because men and women alike, we all struggle with self-love. I think guys hide it a little bit more, but honestly, I think guys are harder on themselves. I really do. I think women, we've kind of always been that way, and guys, they don't talk about it, so they don't know that there's a way out. So at least girls, we got our girlfriends. A guy, and I don't know this to be true, I'm not a guy, but I feel like if a guy walked into his room and he was like, into a room of other guys, his friends, and he was like, man, I'm having a really tough day, I don't feel that great about myself, and I'm feeling like really empty right now, and I don't care for anything about me. My hair was wrong, my makeup was wrong. Oh, they wouldn't say my makeup. My beard wasn't right. Like, this outfit just doesn't make me feel good about myself. Like, today just wasn't my day. I think the other guys would probably really resonate with them and be like, oh man, yeah, me too. But I think they would look at him and be like, did we talk about this? Like, is this a thing? Like, is this okay? So anyways, that's just my thoughts. But here's what you guys can do. So right when you wake up, make yourself have a grateful heart. Just anything and everything. You know, for me, I love the morning. I love the daylight. I love the sunshine. So my husband keeps the blackout curtains completely shut. That kind of drives me crazy. But if I could open them up and see the sunshine and hear the birds chirping, those are things I'm grateful for. You know, I like to lay in bed and just be like, thank you, universe. Thank you, Lord, you know, that I'm rested. Thank you for letting me wake up on my own time without setting an alarm today. Thank you for letting me wake up. Thank you for allowing me to have another beautiful Thursday when I can go out and change lives. Thank you for letting me meet the people today that, you know, I'm going to be able to help change their lives. Thank you for giving me something to talk about that's going to impact somebody else today. You know, just find a way to be grateful. You know, some people are like, thank you, Lord, that coffee is the next thing on my list, you know. So whatever it is, find something to be grateful for first thing in the morning and spend a moment just basking in it. Just lay there and truly feel grateful. Don't just say it, but breathe it in. And I really mean that. Take the time to think about it, whatever it is you're grateful for. If it's that warm cup of coffee, start using your senses. Think about the way it smells, the warmth, the aromas, that bit of hot steam that's coming up and just, you know, giving you that indulgence. Think about that creamer you're going to use or however you like your coffee, and breathe it in for a second and then breathe it out. And breathe in through your nose. It's a lot better for you. And just breathe it out and be in that moment. You know, whatever it is. For me, I like to think about being outside hiking and the sunshine and, like I said, the birds and that smell of freshness in the morning, whether it's fresh cut grass or just crisp new air, and just breathe that in for a minute and then let it go. Start your day out like that. When you're getting ready in the morning, whether you're putting on makeup, you're brushing your teeth. I listen to a lot of my self-help in the morning. So I'll get on YouTube and listen to affirmations. I'll get on YouTube and listen to motivational speakers. I'll, you know, turn on one of my audio books, whatever it is, while I'm getting ready, which for me, it's like usually 10 minutes, sometimes half an hour, you know, especially if I'm straightening my hair. That's when I turn on the book, or I turn on those really deep motivational speakers. But I get in there and I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, even if I'm putting on my mascara, I'm like, dang, you got them pretty blue eyes, like, rock it, girl. I don't know why that makes me feel good, but it does, because I want to believe that people are looking at my eyes and not at my ass. Let's just be real here for a minute, okay? I said that on Facebook. Now I feel really bad. If I ever offend anybody, you know, just keep those comments to yourself. It's okay. Everybody offends somebody every once in a while. So, yeah, look at yourself, you know, and for me, there was a lot of affirmations I had to go through, and I'm still going through. I'm not kidding you. I have an affirmations playlist, and my husband came in the other night, and he's like, what the heck are you listening to? This music's creepy. And I'm like, I'm going to start listening to affirmations all night long, because I want this stuff to sink in. Your subconscious doesn't miss anything, ever. Like, it truly doesn't miss a beat. So, but affirmations that I say to myself: you are beautiful. And, you know, I changed this. This freaked me out when I first started doing it. So if you guys think this is creepy, it is. But try it. It's weird what kind of, like, energy and, like, woo, you get going on. Like, you literally get, like, this jolt of electricity. So I look at myself in the mirror and I get all serious. I do this whole, like, pull your shoulders back, look at yourself square in the eye. And I'm like, Maureen, you're freaking awesome. And, like, I don't know why using my name is so powerful, but it is. Just like if you talk to somebody and you use their name, it makes them feel special. It makes you feel special too. It's like, Maureen, you're freaking awesome. You look damn good today. Maureen, you got a banging body. Maureen, people want to be just like you. When you walk into a room, everybody wants to know who you are. You've never met anybody that isn't going to be your friend one day. Like, and I just talk to myself, and everybody's affirmations are different. I've heard other people, they need some self-love that's more along the lines of, you know, I'm beautiful just the way I am, or my body shape is perfect. And yes, I know self-love and body image, they do go pretty close to each other. So a lot of affirmations are that way. But I also like to tell myself, you know, you deserve a piece of chocolate today. You deserve a bubble bath. You deserve to go get that massage and enjoy every single second of that hour, you know? And I like to tell myself that stuff, and you start to feel really good about yourself, and you start to realize that it's okay to go do something for yourself, you know? And sometimes for me, it's just tacos. Maureen, today you're going to go out, you're going to get some Mexican food, and you're going to enjoy those tacos. They're not going to make you any heavier than you are. They're not going to put any more thickness into your thighs. You go out, you enjoy those, you have a great day, you laugh, you smile, and you love every savoring bite of those carne asada tacos. And I'm okay with that. And you need to train yourself that it's okay to do these things. If you feel guilty for taking 10, 20 minutes, moms, this is for you. If you feel guilty for taking that 10, 20 minutes by yourself every day, don't. And start talking to yourself about it. Tell yourself how much you deserve it. Tell yourself how much you need it. That you're going to be a better mom once you get it. Because the truth is, you are. You need to be recharged. And for most people, it only takes 10 minutes. So another thing I've started doing is meditating. Let me tell you, meditating is hard for me. But there is so much stuff out there, so many guided meditations that you guys can try, and it's worth it. So I like to meditate. And everybody does it differently, and I know the right way or whatever is to sit down, legs crossed, or, you know, sit where you're like on your knees, hands on thighs, whatever, and you know, sit up straight and yada yada. That doesn't always work for me. Sometimes I'm a lot cozier on my couch, but there is power in having that good posture. You're opening up your heart, you're opening up your chest, and you're allowing everything to channel in through you. When you have a lazy disposition, I don't know what else to call that, I know there's a word for it, but when your body language is lazy, you don't get much done, and that's like scientifically proven. Your productivity goes down. So you do want to bring yourself into a state of productivity before you start meditating. But for me recently, I found the brightest room in our house, which just happens to be in the furthest left corner of our house, which if you're into all this, the furthest left corner of your house is your money-making corner. So it just kind of works perfectly for me. That is where you would put your altar with all of the things like your vision board and whatnot of money-making things, money-making activity. And you go in there and you look at it and you visualize the money and the wealth and the lifestyle coming in. So another fun tip. We'll talk about altars and stuff later, because it's not freaking voodoo. Everybody's like, oh my gosh, like, do you worship Satan or something? You have an altar in your house? Yeah, I do. A lot of people have prayer altars. It's okay. Just so happens that I own a business. I run a business. My livelihood, my family, this house, the roof over my head comes from a stay-at-home business. So yeah, I sit down and I visualize it and I think about it and I think about everything that it's going to take to make more money, because the more money I have, the better my lifestyle is going to be. The more I can give, the more I can do the things I want. You know, Aaliyah's all about going on a Disney World vacation. Well, we have a certain amount of things we have to get done before we can go there, and she wants to go soon. So Josh and I have a lot of work to do. That's my rant. I'm done. Okay, so anyways, just so happens that the room with the best lighting in my house and the most vibrant color is the furthest left room, and I have my mat that faces the furthest left corner, and I love just sitting in there and breathing. It sounds so weird, but I can breathe. And I've talked about it before, and I don't have them on me, but I'll have to show you guys. I use these sticks called monk sticks, and they are diffusers. It is not an e-cigarette, nothing like that. It is a personal size diffuser. They have all kinds of things, and I love using them during my affirmations. And it's so funny because now that I've used them, I've correlated these thoughts and these feelings with these senses, these smells. And now that I've done that so many times, if I'm not feeling good about myself, I can pick up my sexy stick and say, okay, it's time, and breathe it in and just kind of have all of those senses and those smells and breathe it out, and my mind starts to clear because my mind's thinking sexy all of a sudden. So there are things you can help. A lot of people do incenses. A lot of people do essence oils, which is the same thing as those monk sticks. I just happen to like to breathe it in instead of like rubbing it all over my body or whatever. Anyways, so meditate. Learn to meditate. Meditate when it works for you. I have a girl, she said, I started talking to her about meditating, and she remembers me telling her I used to meditate before I went into work. Because believe it or not, I am an introvert. I prefer to stay at home, sit on the couch. I don't want to talk to people. I like the company of my dog and like the Big Bang Theory. Like that's the perfect day for me. And so I used to have this job, and I guess my company now, I still technically do, but I had this job where my whole job was to cater other people. Like I went into work and I was supposed to be happy and friendly and smiley, and I served other people like hand and foot. And it was so funny because everybody there knew me as the smiley girl, and they would always, Maureen, why are you so smiley? Eduardo Garcia, that's like my version of your accent, by the way. So like everybody would always ask me, and a lot of people, one of the dear friends on my team right now, he said when he first met me, he didn't know how to take me, and my husband was like, I know, right? And he's thinking because I'm like some kind of a mean person because I used to be so shut off. But he's like, she was always so smiley, she was always so nice, she came up and had this whole conversation with me, and she was like, blah, 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 blah. And my husband was like, you were nice to somebody? So funny. So anyways, yeah. I used to have to sit in my car. I had to get there early, and it was a beautiful facility. So I would get there early, and I would meditate and think about, you know, being that loving person, and, you know, projecting love and projecting light and being happy. And I had to do it. And if I did not meditate before I got in, everybody knew my day was off, and they're like, oh my gosh, are you okay? What's wrong? They had no idea it had anything to do with meditating. But like I said, it's hard for me. And sometimes my version of meditating is standing there staring at it. Like, you can do this. You've got it. It's more of a pep talk than it is visualizing my day. But I liked to visualize myself walking through those doors and being a ray of sunshine, and walking down the halls and talking to everybody, and everybody loving me and interacting back. So anyways, so start meditating. The other thing you can really do for self-love is going to be food. Start eating food that makes you feel beautiful. I love mangoes. Mangoes bring me to a happy place. That sounds so crazy, but it reminds me of some of the greatest times in my life. Traveling to Nicaragua, going to Costa Rica, you know, being in tropical islands like Corn Island and eating a fresh mango off of the tree, or being out in blue fields and just savoring in the sun and the ocean air, or sitting on the beach eating dried mangoes with like chili and lime, right? Like, oh my gosh, it brings back the best memories, like walking down the streets of Mexico and seeing the truck that has the biggest mangoes, like the biggest, juiciest mangoes on a stick, just covered in chili and lime. And it was like so good. Or when they cut it up and put it in the bag for you and you can like eat it with a spoon. Oh my God, like best thing ever. And it truly makes me happy to have those memories and to eat that fruit. So whatever it is for you, you know, if you need a watermelon to bring you back to grandma's picnics, do that. Start finding a way that touches you and brings you to your happiest moments, and incorporate it into your life every single day. That's a form of self-love. You just need to be happy. So what makes you happy? Do you need to call your best friend every single day? Is there a certain person that can always make you feel wonderful about yourself? I'm not saying rely on them, because you need to be able to do it yourself. But start incorporating those things into your life. This is something new to me, and I used to do it a long time ago, and then I stopped. But I have a journal that's all about me. And it sounds so selfish saying that, but I write everything. I write love letters, basically, is what it is, to myself. And then when I'm having a really bad day and I can't look at myself in the mirror and be like, you're freaking awesome, I go back to this journal and I start reading about all the great things I've accomplished. All, you know, you have this beautiful long hair and everybody just admires it, or you know, whatever it is. I write beautiful, wonderful things about myself in this journal, and they are love letters to myself. And sometimes I have to write them how I want other people to see me and how I hope that other people see me, you know. But I go back and I read it, and it's like, okay, I'm a pretty cool person. Like, I can do pretty cool things. I helped so-and-so do this, or I prayed for so-and-so, you know, and it changed their lives, or I got to sit down and teach somebody this. And it's amazing what that love letter to yourself will do. So I encourage you, especially when you're having a great day, to write it, or to ask the people closest to you. Call your best friend, call your spouse, call your grandma, call whoever your biggest cheerleaders are, and say, look, in the future, I'm going to have a rainy day, and I know that. And I need you to write me a letter right now telling me how wonderful I am, how beautiful I am, how special I am. And I need you to send it to me or give it to me so when I'm having a bad day, I can open it up and be reminded that I'm pretty awesome. They'll do it for you. Guarantee it. So anyways, that's my self-love kind of spiel. Make sure you're doing it. Make sure your self-talk is the best self-talk out there. You should be able to talk to yourself and about yourself better than you can talk about anybody else. You should have more positive and uplifting things saying and going through your head than you can everybody else. If you can walk down the street and see some lady and be like, man, she's poised. She walks with confidence. Her clothes are awesome. You should be able to say 6 things about yourself. Okay, so get on it. Start working on yourself. Start loving yourself. Water is so amazing. And, start your self-love journey. Change your self-love journey. Rewrite your story. Because you can be anybody you want to be. You can accomplish anything you want to accomplish. And you're worth every moment of self-development. So take the time to pour into your own life. Take the time to feel beautiful, whatever that may be. Take the time to feel worthy. And do what you need to do to get to a state where you can truly say that you love yourself. I hope you guys have a great Thursday. We've got big things planned here, so you probably won't see or hear from me for the rest of the day. But I hope and pray that you guys have a day full of love and joy, and that you guys can find that beauty within yourselves every moment of every day. I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a good day.